European Cricket League is proudly brought to you by Dream 11, HCL Software, La Junta de Andalucía, Paramatch and Norcane. And the official charity partner, Share the Meal by the United Nations World Food Programme. Group E has been for excitement, and what a final we've got for you tonight. VOC Rotterdam from the Netherlands, former champions. They won the first ever European Cricket League in 2019, but we've never seen them in Championship Week in the modern format. Forfeiture, exactly 1 year since their hearts were broken under the lights. It was the Dreux team from France that went on to win the whole thing. So get set, this is going to be huge. Only one team can survive. I'm Mr. Maximo. This is the European Cricket League Group E final, and it starts right now. You wherever you're watching from around the world, and welcome to another huge night in European cricket. It is Group E finals time in this European Cricket League, the Champions League of European cricket. Two teams desperate to stay alive in the competition, both with some ECN history as well. And the Group E decider will see VOC Rotterdam of the Netherlands taking on Forfeiture of Scotland. So expecting a lot of excitement tonight. A little bit earlier, I can tell you, we have the coin toss in the middle. Ian Ramage have the two captains.
VOC, you're the home team, you will toss the coin. Forfeiture, you're the away team, you will call. There's the coin.
European cricket.
It's been called European cricket, it's come down European cricket, so you've won the toss.
We will have a ball.
Okay, a toss won by Forfeiture, you will bowl first.
So Jack Hogarth, the Forfeiture skipper, has won the toss and he's elected to bowl first. Pretty interesting one for me because we did see Scotland, their club Forfeiture, defending pretty well in the earlier game. This time last night they were under lights. VOC failed in a chase against Gozo's Army, who have since been eliminated from the competition. Well, it's exactly 1 year ago tonight that we saw Forfeiture sensationally bundled out of the competition by the eventual European champions, Dreux Cricket Club, and they're waiting for them in Championship Week. So there's plenty of things that can happen here. VOC, though, they won the title, don't forget, back in 2019, and since then have had an underwhelming return, though they have been at every single ECL that we've ever had. So watch out for Tim de Kock at the top of the order. I think Francois Fauré, he looked very, very good earlier, and Peter Recordon has just added a little bit of zing in that number 3 position. I know that we'll get up to the commentary box after the anthems, but I'm curious to think what Rico would say with these two teams, because there's not too much between them. I think maybe the win predictor might slightly favour VOC, but for me, not a lot in it for a lot of reasons. I think that both teams rely pretty heavily on their top 4 to score, and really, it's a toss-up for me. Whoever performs under lights, both teams will be desperate to stay. Well, I've got the crowd here. Are you having a good time so far? You know that they are. Maybe not quite as well dressed as yesterday, some would say, but I will say it's great to have so many supporters, and I'm sure there's plenty at home as well who can't wait to get going. Don't forget, tomorrow we'll welcome 5 new teams to the competition, including one-time champions Pakike Badalona, and then we'll have Group G on Friday, Saturday and Sunday, and then I suppose by Monday we'll know exactly what the top 7 looks like. Let's get ready now to welcome the teams onto the field for the Group E final. To the Group E final of ECL 24, the Champions League of European cricket. Leading the two teams on the field, please welcome our on-field officials, Steven Gooch from Estonia and Charles Croucher from Czechia. Followed by the two teams, VOC Rotterdam representing the Netherlands and Forfeiture Cricket Club representing Scotland. Five teams started the Group E journey on Saturday. 4 survived to finals day. Only 2 make the group final. Only 1 can return in just under a week's time for Championship Week. Ladies and gentlemen, please be standing now for the national anthem of the Netherlands. VOC Rotterdam, the 2019 champions, led in this Group E final by their captain, Tim de Kock. Please remain standing now for the anthem of Scotland. Forfeiture Cricket Club of Scotland, last year's Group D finalists, tonight's Group E finalists, led in this final by Jack Hogarth. 2 teams to play, but only 1 can stay. Let's get ready for the Group E final as we head up to Rico Full in the commentary box.
Thank you very much to Mr. Max Movini Sandhu. What magical moments there for the 2 sets of players. VOC Rotterdam, of course, representing the Netherlands, and Forfeiture representing Scotland. This is your Group E final. What a group it has been. It's been absolutely sensational. The only thing that ruined it was, well, those 3 matches that had to be abandoned because of the rain. But that seems a long way away. We've had 2 exceptional matches since then, and today has been no exception. It's been fantastic. VOC Rotterdam, Francis Fulrey, he certainly found his form, didn't he, in the last match. Tim de Kock, the captain, will be key. 52% to 48, VOC Rotterdam the favourites in this one. But you know what I'm going to say. This is very much 50-50. Interesting that Jack Hogarth deciding to put VOC Rotterdam into bat. I think that's a lot to do with the fielding. I know that some of the Scottish players have been saying that they found it difficult to be fielding underneath the floodlights. So I think this is a decision based mainly on that. They feel that they can bowl and field better when there is still a little bit of natural light still there. These two teams have met before. Remember, they played in match number 7 yesterday when Forfarshire, well, it was a real low power performance from them after the previous night, scoring 206 against Arigrad. They came out and scored only 86 against VOC Rotterdam. VOC Rotterdam knocked those off with 27 balls to go. Only Craig Wallace was instrumental for them with the bat. And for VOC Rotterdam, it was their captain, Tim Dearcock. All the umpires will wait for our official time parter, Norkane, to give the nod for the first ball of the Group E final. The umpires are Stefan Gooch and Charles Croucher. Third umpire Sulman Saeed. Here we go. A battle between bat versus ball. And this could be out, you know. It will be out. He plays this one. That's going down the leg side. Gets a little bit of bat onto it. And that is a huge wicket. Yes, it is. Because the in-form Francis Warre, who scored 48 of 22, well, he goes after this one on the leg side. It's going to be a royal duck to start. Well, you can see the royal colour of the Forfarshire side, the royal blue. And we're going to see a royal duck. Number 13 on the back there of Francis Warre. 13 is going to be unlucky. Oh, well, that's not a good sight. But we've seen it. Don't forget that earlier in the last match, it was, without scoring, was the Scottish main player, Cameron Gardner. He went so early. And this time round, it's the other way around. It is VOC Rotterdam that lose a wicket early, but they'll believe they can recover. But both of these teams, it has to be said, have relied predominantly on the top 3 batters to perform. One of the top 3 has to get going. So that's a huge scout first up. And Scott Cameron strikes. Cameron once again now to Recorden. And he started shakily, remember, in that win against BSC Rayburg. He was dropped on 0 and also on 1 before he went on to put a big score on the board. Made 70 of 24. Excellent start for Forfarshire. We've got one of the key batters out early. Cameron once again. Okay, pretty straight. It maybe thought Tim de Kock of getting the pull shot in. He just checks the field now. Just let him, saw him take a little look at the leg side field. He sees that nobody's on the boundary. Square leg starting from the 30-yard circle and coming in. So just sort of checks his shot there. I think he would have fancied it, but maybe that loss of the early wicket makes him decide otherwise. And this one, well, this is on the lid. This is on the lid, so goes upstairs, does Scott Cameron. And, well, Tim de Kock gets a knock, gets it on the lid. And I think we'll see a little bit of a concussion test here from the 2 match officials to the captain of VOC. This cat's in pretty sure on the side of the lid. There you go, right at the bottom of that guard. And that's shaking him up for sure. And the medic will come out. There we go, I think that's might be Elsa that comes out there and does a quick check. Yeah, it is indeed. And, just checking, there's no issues there, and like this move as well. And a little smile, there you go, all's okay. And Tim de Kock says, thank you very much. I feel much better now, thank you. There's some of the Gozo Zalmi boys sitting and watching. Gozo Zalmi here, also some of the Starigad boys as well as BSC Oberga. Time for those guys to sit and enjoy this final. And what a final it promises to be. This time it gets played away. That's going to be 4 runs. Just a little bit short. It's a good comeback. He says, you might knock me, but I'm going to hit you back. And that's exactly what Tim de Kock does. Cuatro carreras. He knows now, really. And he's got to put a big innings in here. Big shift from him. It's his 3rd ball away for the boundary. Cameron looking to finish the over well. 1 for 5 so far. Goes short again, and it's another miscue from the batter. And he misses out on it. It's the end of the over. It's a cracking start for Forfarshire. You heard Simo talking there, say that it was a year ago that they suffered that defeat in the Group D final to Dreux, the French champions. Dreux putting 154 on the board. Nabi was in good form that night, and Forfarshire finishing on 124. This is how the teams got to this position. It's been an interesting finals day. It really has. A lot of people have been saying that probably it's been the most exciting so far. And couldn't argue with you there. It certainly had been plenty of excitement. And one of the earlier issues in the group with the weather seemed a long way away from what we've seen the last couple of days. Bit of chat here, taking the time to think about who's bowling. Remember, they went with Jack Hogarth to bowl the second over against the German champions BSC at Rehberger. It didn't really go well, so they're staying away from the spin at the moment, and I think that's a good shout. If pace is working, then you go with pace. Now this is a man we didn't see in the last match. So Bryce Lachin is being given the ball to bowl his second over. And he's a little bit leg side-ish, and it will get played away. It's going to be, I think, a no ball signal here as well. So I think this is the foot fault. So no ball, that's going to be a minimo. I don't know if we get a chance to see this, but he obviously is overstepped. So that's going to be 5, 4 to the batter, and 1 for the no ball. So call early by the umpire, Charles Croucher, the sheriff. So Bryce Lachin gets it all wrong. Free hit. Goes high in the air, but he can't be out, remember. And it'll just be a single. Well, tell the spectators that. They're wondering what's going on. Why isn't he out? What's wrong with that? They'll say, look, they're clapping, they're applauding. He's not out, folks, he's not out. Calm down, calm down. And a free hit it was. So they'll get the single. And look, all the ones on that on the board. You never see that. Very rarely. 11 for 1 after 1.1. And changing the field, and a fine time to welcome back into the commentary box for this Group E final, Mr. Maximo, Vinny Sandu.
Yeah, good to be back. Say, keep calm, but although it's been quiet at times today, I don't think I've ever described it as calm. There's a lot of nerves around, big prize on the line to come back for Championship Week. Here's Allchin. Back in the side, trying to erase the demons. It was Allchin who bowled that 9th over. Nabi went bananas in the Group D final last time. 5 consecutive maximos. Took them, I think, 119 to 149 in the 9th. Good to see Bryce back. He's a competitor. Tim Cook has maybe just cracked his bat here, but it gives us an opportunity to just kind of analyse a little bit further this group final.
Yeah, I mean, well, he's cracked his bat. Well, earlier it was his helmet that was taking the knock. Yeah,
well, it gives us a chance to maybe just talk about a few key players. I mean, one guy that I do want to feature as well, Callum Garden. I think he's so crucial behind the stumps, and also with his batting. Kind of forgotten man a little bit of the batting lineup, but he sure showed us what he could do that last game. Now, new bat, and it'll have just enough. Maybe holds up. Yeah, very good fielding. That was a hallmark of the Scottish play earlier, as they got past the Germans. In fact, we were kind of saying it might have been the difference between the two teams.
Yeah, it certainly was. The fielding spot on here. I think a lot of the teams would have given this one up, but it's chased hard, and it's a good flip back. That's Lewis James, big tall man in that prominent part of the field, and a lovely flip back there. Excellently done. Saves 2 runs.
Nerves jangling all over the place. Consistently edge of your seat stuff. The 4 teams, they're all very even. I'm not sure if they're checking something here. There's no problem with the stop. Don't think he ever goes across the line.
Yeah, no issues at all, I think. Just waiting for the umpire. The umpires now get the okay. The all clear. Here we go.
Anyway, back to Allchin. All right, in the air. Now this has to be a chance. Oh, it's a tough one. Over the shoulder, dropped. Yeah, what a difference. A little bit of time can make Wallace, who's caught very, very well. He's battling the twilight, the artificial light, the ball going over his shoulder, running back with the flight. A tough chance, but it is a chance, and De Kock survives.
Yeah, it's a big one as well, because we know that today has been the story of drop catches. Players, good players, have been dropped, and they go on to punish you. So that is a big opportunity that goes down. Wallace not able to hold on to the catch.
Corden gets it back. It should be gone. And this one's been dropped.
Oh,
Hoagie had most of it, went up and almost got another bite at the cherry, but 2 balls and 2 drop catches. That's how Recording started earlier on today. He gets super lucky. And the Scottish fielding under lights just going to pieces in this over.
oh, and look at the cuddling for the bowler there. I mean, that's Hogarth who puts it down. That's you. They made the same mistake, didn't they? Before, you can't be dropping good players. Now these two will be looking to punish. Both dropped on 6.
Slower ball. This one won't escape the infield. This will be the end of the over. So Orchin, very unlucky there. He'll end up going for 10 in the over. Doesn't take a wicket. 15 for 1 after 2. I mean, Orchin, I know we talked about the final last year, but he actually bowled really well during the series up to that point.
Yeah.
Has a good mixture of kind of off-speed deliveries. Tonight's an exciting night. First ever Monday night finals on the network, and we'll add a name to that list. We know it'll either be VOC Rotterdam of the Netherlands or it will be Forfarshire of Scotland.
Yeah, I mean, who will have their name up in lights? Who will go and feature in Championship Week, starting, of course, on the 18th of March? But, I mean, the big talking point there, those 2 catches going down, you could see that Orchard, he was devastated with both of those. He needed the lights has got Cameron to come over and just compose and say, look, don't worry about it, it's a game. But interesting for me, I'm pretty sure there was definitely a deliberate ploy here for Forfarshire to want to field first because they wanted the best of the natural light, because they felt that they had issues and have issues in the field under the floodlight. But once again, even taking that gamble hasn't paid off here.
Yeah. So, yeah, 50-50. I suppose this game's toed and froed a few times already. We're only just getting started. This is hit straight back. Should be handled. It will be. Fraser Ross does the work.
Lyle Robertson bowled well in the last match. I mean, after that very expensive over from Jack Hogarth that went for 27, he came in, he steadied the ship slightly. I think he can sometimes be a little bit short, and that's where he can be punished. And Tim de Kock can certainly punish the bad ball, but he bowled a good line outside off.
This is lifted up though and out of the ground. Good shot by de Kock, living on borrowed time. He puts that one into the jungle. Maximo, the first one of this Group E final.
Well, he puts it in the jungle, and there's the rumble in the jungle there, up there on Grizzly Hill. There's that one, is out of the middle. Boom! Shakalagia Kinnasona. That's 6 runs. You don't want to be bowling it there. He's got to be a little bit wider outside the off stump to him. New balls, please, I think, because that Grizzly is going to take some finding.
Not easy in the dark. Yeah, Robertson just gets a bit straight there. And de Kock works it away nicely. And the Scottish side were a long way behind in the final, actually. Even with a few overs to go, were able to turn it around just in time. Not really anyone's game. I think VOC started slight favourites. We've seen already the team switch favouritism a few times in the first couple of overs. This one basically spoils the wide, almost carries. I don't think it carries all the way to Lewis James, but he does make a good stop.
He saved some runs out there already, hasn't James? He chased one down to keep it to 2. And then that one absolutely blasted, and he gets down. And it's just a single, so I think that's 3 saved for me.
I don't know if that's a chance. He kind of yorks him, reaches him at the same time as hitting the ground. Back to live action. And this is hit towards the same fielder. James does the job this time, sliding to his left.
One thing we've learnt, Vinny, is the Peter Recordon, the more time he spends out there, the better he gets. He showed that in the last match, the win against the German champion, so they want to remove him pretty quickly.
Be brave on this format. I like that. Actually spins this one. Have a look at how much this one turns. It's a bit slower and just gets a false shot out of Tim de Kock.
Yeah, I think
really puts a bit of left to right on this.
Yeah, if it goes straight, he'd be in trouble, you know. I mean, if it went straight on, that might have even beat him.
It went straight, might hit 6. Anyway, that one is the straight one. And it will be kept in the infield. Fielded like a baby giraffe by new cult hero Jamie King. That'll be the end of the power play, and Forfarshire get the better of it. It's 25 for 1 after 3.
Yeah, they do. Remember, things have changed. Remember Forfarshire themselves, when they were playing in that all-important match against the BSC Rayburger, they were only 23 for 1 off the first 3, but then they got the acceleration on, didn't they? So It's been the sort of story of the day. Remember, today has all been about scores around about the 130. Sometimes it's been profitable, sometimes it hasn't.
Remember they won that last game, Forfeiture, even having that horror over from Hogarth, went for 27 in the second. So they've avoided that this time. As Orchard comes back, fresh haircut, I think, for the tournament. Got tongues wagging last year. This will be a wide first up. Good take, though, from Garden. He's important behind the stumps.
Orchard getting a good bit of movement there. But, just catches a bit of that line, and the Sheriff calls the wide straight away. He was unlucky he wasn't in that first over. He could have removed both these batters. So I like the way that Jack Hogarth, who himself put the catch down to remove Gordon on 6. It goes back to him.
A bad spot to miss. Now, false shot. It is, but it's going to be runs. It's going to be 4 runs. So De Kock will just get enough bat on that to take it over the infield and almost carries all the way, but cuatro carreras. The OC reached 30.
Yeah, young Thomas Knight chases that into the night, doesn't he? And gives the signal to the umpire, say that's cuatro carreras, but he's been good in that area. There he is, the youngster. He's taking some good catches there. But that one eludes him. They opt to keep the third up. It's always a gamble. We've seen so many catches taken a deep third.
That's true. Might be worth a thought the way these guys are swinging. It's a slower ball, and he almost chops it under his stumps, chops under his foot. Survives. Good change up from Bryce. Again, brave bowling. Hey, I want to say a quick hello to a few people in the chat. Good to see Leroy Cunningham watching from Jamaica. And Dave Beeson there. And a few of the Hornchurch crew in as well. I'm going to single out Arthur George, who says it's his son's first birthday today. And how's this for a name? Happy birthday, Legend. His name is Legend George. Named after his father? Good take. Garden really loved his keeping. Also well bowled by Orchard. But Garden, I mentioned earlier that he's very good at kind of keeping his eyes square with the ball and just gets a good look. And that's how you can give yourself the best chance of dealing with a bit of extra bounce like he did on that occasion.
This is quality keeping. To be standing up under the floodlights, this is quality. This is world class.
He's a natural keeper, Garden.
Happy birthday, by the way. He's a legend.
Legend. It's a good one, isn't it?
Love it, huh? Legend.
Slower ball, picked and hit, but not hit that hard. Orchard's done a very good job coming into the side here. I know there's still 2 balls to go. And you know, we had talking about magical overs. We had a magical ball before that went for 20. 7 up, 6 off Hogarth. So I don't want to call it too quick on poor Bryce, but he's doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, he's kept it. Well, good thing about him is he's kept his composure. When you're a bowler and you've seen in a final, and you've seen 2 catches dropped off you in 1 over, it gets to your head. He hasn't allowed that. He stayed composed, and yeah, he's putting a great shift in for his captain, for his team here at the moment.
Sunglasses at Night, good song from the 80s. Couple to come. Oh, good keeping again. Just not reading that out of the hand. I actually think you talk about, you know, fielding at this time, but I think batting at twilight, I mean, in all cricket, since night cricket's been a thing over the last, say, 40 years or so, the picking the ball up at this time of night when the natural light is fading and the lights are taking over. We've almost lost the natural light now. You just tell they're not really picking it up straight out of their hand. And a few errors in judgment that are uncharacteristic of these 2 batters. This one, not so much though, because he's going to smash it into the fan zone. Maximo! Time to take cover as recorded. Goes large. As well, hopefully everyone survived that one. It was a missile. Orchard, though, still good figures. 22 come off his spell. And VOC, 37 for 1 after 4.
Yeah, he's bowled okay. Well, there you go. Take cover. And yeah, as the DJ tells you, everybody, be careful and be looking, because those Grizzlies are coming your way, especially when you've got a powerful left-hander out there. That's a good hit from Peter Recording. Good way to finish the over. 37 for 1 after 4.
Kind of swallow 1 boundary and over, and it's not the end of the world. That one had 2 boundaries, but then apart from that, there was only a single and a wide. So only 12 come off that over. All-Chin does a good job coming in. And I think one of the reasons they picked All-Chin is that this guy was really effective in the last game. And in a way, they're similar bowlers. They will bowl a lot of off-speed stuff, but they have those variations. King bowls a lot of cutters, but he can also push one through. Starts with a cutter and it's hit. It's hit really well by De Kock, who stands tall and pierces the gap, 4 runs.
Yeah, a little bit too short for King. It'd be interesting this, because when Jamie King didn't get it right in the earlier match, things that changed it round for him, and I think also changed it round for Forfeiture, is when he went to the knuckleball, the slower delivery. He bowled a couple of those in his first over and his second, and they were successful. And this time, that is the slower delivery, but he gets it wrong. It'll be called a wide.
Once that kind of outswinger, and well taken by Garden, who decides to keep back to King. I think partly because King's just a fraction quicker. Feels like more likely to get outside edge.
Yeah,
held.
I think also it's the consistency of the bowler. I think as a wicket keeper will know, you've got a bowler that will bowl wicket to wicket. You've got a chance, even though the length might be different.
This is driven pretty firmly. Should be handled out on the boundary. It is. Had a question. Who did Bryce Orchin come in for? It's James Sim, who misses out. Just giving themselves another bowling option, which I think you can understand.
I think also they probably decided here that the extra seamer will probably be better off than the extra spinner, and that's what seems to be working here at the moment. They haven't really gone after the seam. When they do, I think they've got the several options there with the spin. Jack Hogarth himself, I think, will be pretty key in this one as well.
Recorded's been a revelation. Corey was saying how for VOC's second team, he put in an incredible performance in a 7-over game to bring them the flag. Right now, he plays a beautiful looking shot, smart shot really, because there's no deep cover. He just gets down on that back knee and he strokes it away for 4.
It's a very good shot, very intelligent. I mean, he gets a whip, but rather than be tempted to hoik across the line, he waits for it and he smashes it over the short cover. It's an intelligent shot. You can see that he's got a good idea of where the field positioning is and what he's going after, what the shots he's playing.
Often we see batters trying to drag that to the leg side, but that was a smart shot. Now he does take this off the stumps to leg side. Because a lot of the time, the fielding side are forced to choose between, say, a deep mid-wicket and a deep cover. And almost all the time, they're trying to bowl it outside the off stump. So if you spot that, if you're comfortable elevating over cover, that's the percentages, and Recorded played it beautifully there.
Yeah, and that's that slower ball as well. And Jamie King, he executes that really well, and well played in the end, well dug out.
Back down the ground, but just 1. So 12 off the over. I think 12 for me feels like a draw. So probably say no one wins this over unless we have a boundary off the last ball. King could probably win the over with a wicket. I think that'd be pretty handy at this stage. Still half of this innings to go. 126 expected. Keep an eye on that during this innings. He's bowled him, and the cutter does the job. Recorded's out of luck, and King's fired up, gets it right on target, and York's the big lefty, and VOC lose the second wicket on the stroke of the 5th over. It's 49 for 2.
Well, King doesn't like the sound of the Recorder, and then he sends him back as well bowled. It's that slower delivery again, well bowled, good variations. This is where he was key in the last match, and he does it again. And just watch this, it's an absolute beauty. It's in the slot, the batter loses it, plays the shot anyway, gets beaten. Look at the reaction from Tim de Kock at the other end. You can see he's absolutely gutted. He said, oh no, because he don't want to lose his wicket, because I feel now really the last of the recognised batters go in there. It's the end of the over, 49 for 2 as Peter Recorded goes back for 20.
Yeah, it's not a bad innings from Recorded. I mean, had a life on 6, don't forget, he goes for 20 off 11. And it gives us an opportunity maybe to welcome you into the commentary box here at the 5-over mark of this Group E final. The players will stop to take a strategic timeout. Probably a good time as a new batter will come to the crease. Pierce Fletcher out in the middle, having a couple of words. Vinny Sandy, Mr. Maximo. Got Rico Full with me. Very interesting. 2 teams I think that have relied a lot on their top 4 and with similar bowling attacks. That's why I think it's such a fascinating matchup. Forfeiture get the best of the first 5 overs, but plenty still to be written in this Group E final.
There's plenty to come. I get the feeling that in this contest between these 2 teams, because they're so similarly balanced, even a 110, 120 is going to be a very, very exciting contest. I've got that feel about it. Whatever happens, whatever the score, it's going down to the wire. I can tell you that now, it's going to the wire.
I think also, wickets in hand seem to matter more for these teams compared to the Germans, who actually had a fairly deep run in the tournament. I know it didn't happen to them on finals day.
Yeah.
But they were losing 7 wickets in innings, but still consistently putting these 130, 140 scores on the board. I just don't think these teams necessarily have the firepower down the order to be able to do that. 49 for 2 off 5 as that is Yelt Schoenheim that comes out. Won't be facing because it's the end of the over. And going to go to Lewis James. So he's another bowler in the mould of a King or an Orchin. Just bowl your medium pace and hopefully get it right. First one a little bit off, will be called a wide. Yeah, that one from recorded that he misses. Again, maybe just doesn't pick it up straight away. It was the cutter, or maybe he picks it and just plays down the wrong line. He'd given himself a little bit of room, so he was in a great position. He was forced to play slightly away from his body.
Yeah, just watching Lewis James running in there, he just never had the rhythm. I'm surprised he continued with the ball. He didn't look like he had his run sorted.
Anyway, this is up, it's in the air, and it's out of here. It's a pretty good shot from De Kock. He becomes super important. Don't forget he lost his opening partner for a royal duck off the first ball of the match.
Yeah.
As Foray got strangled down the leg side. Tim De Kock, though, is a class act, and he moves into the 30s.
Good shot, hitting this on the up. That just shows you how much power that he has. That's an incredible stroke off the back foot.
Yeah, gets it away from the fielder as well. Comeback ball for Lewis. Nice one, he gets it wrong, and it's strong from the batter. Just came into the leg stump, and De Kock put it away into the jungle. Maximal, 6 runs.
Yeah, well, now Lewis, he's definitely under pressure here because that one's not a good delivery. I think it's a slower one, but he gets it wrong. Doesn't look comfortable with his run up here. You know, I wonder, sometimes, sometimes the bowler can be put up by the keeper standing up as well. I wonder if that's an issue. He just doesn't look comfortable.
Yeah, he bowled well earlier. I think it's one of those things. Run seems to be a bit off at the moment, though. This should be a bit of a settler for him as it's just punched down to deep point for 1.
Yeah, be happier bowling here to Schoenheim, who's the new batter, comes in. He has to adjust here, but yeah, I've got to say, Tim De Kock, he certainly looks in good form. It looks like he's got his eye in. Looks like he's enjoying himself out there. It's a bit of a chat with the umpire, Charles Croucher, who helps the new batter, Jelt, get his guard. Okay, let's see how he starts here.
It's a veteran. Oh, and he's almost bowled. Just the extra bounce, took that straight over the stumps. Well taken by Garden, but Schoenheim keeps the foot down.
Yeah, see, that's the difference. A batter that's been in there, adjusted to the light, so he's set, and this is key. What he doesn't want to do, though, is be losing partners at the other end. It's not the best of shots first up, is it?
Garden, great take. See that one just climbed over, back to the live action. This one swings a bit too much, it'll be called a wide. Again, good take behind the stump. All right, let's have a think about where we're at in this game. You know, see, we've kind of hovered around the 40% mark for a while. De Kock's a big fish. They want him to bat deep into the innings. Schoenheim can hit a long ball. So he hit a couple of 6s earlier. Now, this will be another 6 for Schoenheim. Lifts it up and over the leg side. Maximal! It's funny, Lewis James just seemed in rhythm earlier. It seemed like he was owning the game right now. It just seems like he's lost his rhythm, losing his run slightly, and there's no real momentum as he gets into the crease. Schoenheim puts him away.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, what he's bowling, he could be bowling of about 3-4 steps. He's got a bit of a run up. He's bowling from the 30-yard marker, but if you watch him running in, he's got a ball to bowl here, gone for 21, gone magical already, but he's shuffling around. He hasn't got his run up sorted, and when you haven't got the right momentum going into your delivery stride, you will struggle.
Last ball of the over. And gets a dot, so it's a weird over really. Goes magical in the end. James goes for 21, and after 6 the score 70 for 2.
70 for 2. I wonder if this is going to be the opportunity perhaps for the captain to maybe think about coming on, introduce a bit of spin, or maybe he'll wait one more over.
Sticking with them in Hogarth, they've got up their sleeve, but they probably feel, you know, these conditions, the seamers seem to be doing the job. Even though that one did go magical, it was more about James not getting it right than anything else. He's always got Hogarth as an option there. Bowled a very good second over last time. Maybe he should bowl his second over first. Tim Vergosen, I'm loving this in the comment section. As we see some of the crew having a good time there, including Brian Damage. Yeah, some very good looking individuals and others in the crowd tonight. Slow ball first up from King, totally diddles De Kock. You see, he hasn't picked that one up at all.
Hasn't seen it.
Tim was saying, let's see if De Kock and Schoenheim form just as formidable partnership here as the open bar at the Copacabana wedding last month, of course. And we've seen Arthur in the action, although he's 12th man in this game, Arthur. Maybe he's still recovering. Here's Jamie. Yeah, it's a pretty good looking cut shot there. Finds the fielder.
It's good. He's bowling good areas, isn't he? I mean, what he hasn't done so far, I think just the one delivery where he's pitched up and he's got punished. He's actually keeping the ball a good length, short of a length. And when he does pitch the ball up, it's the slower delivery. So it's one of those, the batters think, right, this is the one. It's pitched up, I'll go for it. But it's the slower one, and you get done. And that's how you got recorded. Oh, this one's a no-hit.
Yeah, I reckon
definitely.
that's the knuckleball that goes wrong, I think. Yeah. It's a difficult ball to bowl. In fact, it was only just invented a few years ago. One of my old teammates, AJ Ty, actually, was claimed with, I reckons he might have been the first to get it done. That's one that you want to swing at if you know it's high.
I think it was coming. It was going right in the middle of his forehead, so he decided.
You also want to live.
Decided to take the safer option.
This feels like a big ball here because VOC could get something going here if they could put this away. Goes to the cutter, and he picks it, and he smacks it out of the ground. Maximo! So King pays the price for the knuckler slipping out the wrong way, and that one will go over the ropes for 6.
That's his shot, though, isn't it, Schoonheim? We've seen him execute that in the previous over against Lewis James. If it's there, it's going, and it's disappearing. So you've got to keep it out of that zone. You don't want to be going for the stump for him. Your better option is maybe trying to get him cutting.
A couple of danger shots. I told you there's some very good looking fans out there. This is the ball, would have been wide, but it's towed down the ground by Schoenheim. That's probably a win for Forfarshire.
Yeah, that's what he tries to do. He says, well, I'm not letting you play that shot again. I'm going to bang it in.
Just the difference in the lighting. And it takes some getting used to, I think you're right. But those little things you're normally looking for. So a bowl like King, he's got quite a pronounced difference when he bowls his cutter, which is like a fast spinner. That's the one there. Garden does well to block this on the second bounce. But yeah, because batting's such a split-second game, if you're a 10th of a second slower to react, that's actually a fair bit of your reaction time. Yeah. So that's why I think you see there's a couple of the shots just not being what you might see during the day at the moment. Recording obviously lost his wicket to a cutter that banged into his stumps. Now, this is the one that is pace on, and you see, because he's bowled so many cutters, that certainly catches Tim de Kock by surprise, and well taken by Garden up over his head.
That's a great delivery. We were having talks earlier in the last match about Jamie King. A few people were saying that he looks like various people. I said he looks like Mitchell out of Modern Family.
Do you know what? I told him both, and he said he loves them. He's happy he's not getting Ed Sheeran. He gets Ed Sheeran all the time. Anyway, this is a pretty good shot. Again, found the outfielder, de Kock, ticking and tacking, but he wants to be whacking. And he's got 3 overs to do it, because at the end of 7, VOC Rotterdam, the 2019 champions there, 81 for 2 in this Group E final.
Yeah, those two, they look pretty confident though, don't they? They've got smiles on their faces. I get the feeling that they got a plan. You've got to have a plan, haven't you? You've got to have a plan. I think they got a plan. They believe that a 130 score here will be enough. That's what they're looking for. As we are looking forward to, well, not only the conclusion of this final, but what starts here tomorrow.
Well, we've got one former champion team in action tonight. We'll have another former champion team in action tomorrow, because Pakai Care, Badalona of Spain are here, but also Donnerstadt. They're another one of those so-called lost teams. Yeah. They qualify, but it was one of the pandemic years, so they'll get to play in an ECL for the first time despite qualifying before. Got Talent Stallions there from Estonia. As we see the first ball of the 8th disappear, they go back to Robertson, and that one's gone miles. Maximo! De Kock moves to 47.
Well, Lyle Robertson comes back on. His first over wasn't a bad one, only went for 10, but that has gone for a huge 6. It's in that slot though. Look where this is, and yeah, it's too short. It's Gundy. He's going to get punished. He's got to get fuller and wider.
Yeah. Shot. He does get fuller and catches De Kock on the crease.
Much better.
So yeah, Donnerstadt of Austria will be here. Indies will be back for their second ECL. Of course, they were part of Horchurch's Group A last year. So were the Talent Stallions, by coincidence, of Estonia.
That one is so close.
This one, actually fumbled in the circle. If he picked it up, there's probably a chance to run out Tim de Kock there, but just a single. Talent Stallions, unfortunately, no Saif ur Rahman, who captained last year. I'm sure quite a few people remember him, the Baltic boss. Unfortunately, visa issues. As this is an under edge, beautifully knocked down by Alchin. Keep it to 1. Saif then took it out on the local opposition, hitting 279 not out into T20 after he just found out that he wasn't able to come to the ECL. But let's see if someone can step up for the Stallions. The other team there, Isle of Man representatives, Crosby.
Yeah.
Of course, Serbia, Slovenia and Isle of Man, the 3 countries added for ECL 24.
Good stop there once again. Olchin saving runs, and that's what it's all about. Another one that could have maybe gone all the way down to the boundary.
Yeah, well bowled in the end. Put some pace on it there. Robertson gets the dot. They're all valuable at this stage. Expected score still kind of hanging around the 120s. It's been there throughout the whole innings, really. Well, I suppose since those early wobbles. Yeah, well bowled. Gets full. You suggested it, and it works out. Robertson, good couple of overs from him. Only goes for 19. So he wins the battle with 20, and it's 90 for 2 after 8. Akmal is in the comment section asking, hey Vinny, is Mohamed Ihsan playing tomorrow? Well, I believe so. I know that Ihsan had to go back due to a family emergency. That's why we didn't see him in the second half of the Barcelona series, but I do believe he's here, although we'll have to find out tomorrow. Also, don't forget Pakakare have the services of Daniel Dorkaya and also Sebastian Bratt, who's captained the Netherlands 11 to an ECC trophy before.
Yeah, 2 guys that play together, and so it'll be interesting to see how they play. Also, it'll be very interesting to see what Sebastian Bratt brings to the Pakakare Belgium side, not just as a player, but also as the team dynamics will change as well. Talking about team dynamics, he'll only get the 1 over this time, Vinny, so maybe he is bowling his second first.
Interesting, and I think this is because Lewis James got the treatment, so it will be something different. Again, you'd imagine Hoagie would be tougher to pick under lights because they'll be struggling a bit to pick him. I think they'll be swinging more than sticking around. The first ball's hit down the ground, and De Kock will bring up his 50 with that stroke. 32 balls, so he's been a workhorse, and you can see he's more interested, I think, in the next 11 balls and celebrating too much at this stage, but still well batted.
Yeah, well batted indeed. Well batted indeed.
Okay, high. Now Garden's going to have to get there. He's going to go a long way, and he can't quite go. Didn't want to get off his feet in the end. I think a full dive, he may have just reached it. It was so high, they'll get 2.
Yeah, I mean, he's called it early. He's called everybody off it. He says, it's mine, I want it. And in the end, I think he might just get fingertips. I think you're right. I was expecting to see a dive forward. Maybe by this time, Vinny, he loses it. Don't forget, he's gone with it with the lid on as well.
I think it was his catch. I don't think anyone was able to get there, except for him anyway. Next one, clipped away. Long chase down there, and ultimately a successful chase. Great work by King. And again, the batters will get 2.
Yeah, just think about, folks, think about the runs that have been saved from the very first over when we saw it was Lewis James himself making the stop. They have saved already, for me, around about 10 runs in the field.
Hogarth straight back into his work. It's a bit of a slider, tries to drag it. Actually turned that one a little bit. Hogarth said, yeah, this pitch not really giving him too much sideways movement. This guy bowls with a lot of overspin naturally.
I love the way that Hogarth is able to change his style depending on the type of batting. I mean, against some of the hard hitters before, he was flying it up. Here he's bowling a lot quicker and a lot flatter, and it seems to be working right. It's going to be tight.
Well,
and
well, okay.
They don't hear you.
Well, I guess I'm not keeping. I'm commentating.
But you don't mind that. You don't mind singles. You don't mind
True.
singles.
I mean, if they'd gone to the bowl as probably an overthrow, although I'm sure the boundary rider was hustling in there, Fraser Ross. Anyway, just a single. Yeah, okay. So far, so good for Hogarth. And still pretty good. I think he'll only bowl the 1 over here, but he'll be very happy. And that's what good players do. He backed himself in a situation earlier where he did get whacked around, but he's bowled 2 pretty good overs in a row. Only 8 come off that one. No dot balls, but no boundaries either. In fact, 11 balls without a boundary now. As we head into the last, it's 98 for 2.
Cracking over from the captain, really is. I mean, remember, hasn't had always things go his own way, but once again, that's how adaptable he is. He sees the situation, he senses this a different type of batters, very different to the batters he's had to bowl before, so quicker and flatter.
If you want to think about it, I mean, Hogarth bowls an over for 8. The expected score came down about 10 runs in that over. So now Cameron's going to bowl the last. You saw him lid De Kock earlier. It's a strange innings because it's not that they haven't been attacking enough. I think they've had to do with some pretty good bowling.
And good fielding.
And they've only lost 2 wickets, but they're only 98. Last over coming up. pretty good start from Cameron, who hits his Yorker. DeCock turns for 2. I don't think he can go for 2 here. We've got DeCock on 51. I suppose, yes, he's 51, but Schoenheimer's going at a better strike rate. He's been in for a while as well. Don't think they necessarily want to have a new batter out there unless they really, unless it's really worth the risk. DeCock going for glory here. Cameron just misses his spot. Cocker backed away and showed him a fair bit of the offside Goldilocks zone, but he couldn't hit it.
He sees the batter move away, so he knows he's giving himself some room, and I think he just wanted to try and squeeze this in. It's the right thing to try and do. You'd rather do that than not make any change to get smashed for a boundary.
Well, acrobatic stuff. That almost goes, you know, but a good stop. Really, really good work down there from Lyle Robertson. Hands it off. So again, the defensive pressure has been excellent from the Scots here. I know there's a couple of cats that have gone down, but they haven't been goobers. Maybe Hogarth is bordering on it, but haven't really been punished in a big way.
Yeah, it's more saves in the field. Great bit of strong together fielding from Forfisher.
Cox looking to get under something. Got to hit the block hole again. Doesn't he? Goes. He likes that one as well, short and wide, kind of call it like top corner, which is probably armpit height and just inside the tram line, but just misses for width here.
Yeah, he just drags his body down too early, doesn't he?
And stick to the Yorker. The Yorker's been working. He's been bowling it well. You don't risk a wide. DeCock is kind of frustrated. He's faced a lot of balls. He'd hope with 34 balls he'd be a lot more. Just hasn't been an easy innings. And this one surprises him, and he's going to be gone. So great catch by Cameron. Second time we've seen him take a caught and bowl today. It gets big on Tim DeCock. And it's right up towards the handle of the bat. It just loops up. Cameron does the rest, and finally Tim DeCock is dismissed with 3 balls to go. It's 103 for 3.
Yeah, I think he surprises him here with a short delivery. I don't think Tim DeCock was expecting one to be banged in short to him. Remember, he did wear one on the lid earlier, but this time he's down and out. Because the man who goes down, gets dirty, takes a catch. Scott Cameron, that's a great caught and bowl for a fast bowler. He does extraordinarily well to get there. It's the end of what's been a really good innings. He's held the innings intact, hasn't he, Tim DeCock? I mean, all right, maybe he's going at a slower rate than he normally would do, but he had to do that because they did lose the top batter for 0 of the very first ball of the innings.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it gets him to something on the low end of defendable. It wasn't easy up there, I will say that. So he fights for a 50, and who knows, this could still be a winning score yet for VOC Rotterdam. So Jamil comes out with the big hitting responsibilities. At a bare minimum, he needs to get 1 here. Schoenheim shown he can clear the ropes in this series. First one's a swing and a miss. They think about running. Garden has buyer's remorse as he throws it, wishes he didn't, because if they hit the stumps, they probably get a single.
Yeah, I don't think you want to do that, but yeah, I mean, it's a difficult one for Jamal who comes out. I mean, he's got to try and hit this, you know, he's probably thinking, I could just get bad on it and give a single, but I reckon I can get a boundary. Now he fails once. He feels more obliged to try and get one now. 2 balls to go.
Cameron gets that one just inside. They're going to run, and they'll probably get a run out the other end. Oh, it's really close.
I think he makes this, you know.
I'm just
signalled as well. Signalled wide.
Oh, it's wide, is it?
Yeah, it gets signalled wide.
I'm going to go with just out.
Are you? I'm going to go with in.
Just.
Right.
This is
Here we go.
50-50.
Empanadas on this.
This is at 1 empanada, although they're closed tonight, so I'm actually... so this is the whole ball. I've got to say, it's a pretty harsh wide call. It's borderline. He does well, Jamil, to just stay at home. Here we go. And empanadas are on.
Ooh, well, empanadas on. Ooh, this is really close.
I told you it was close.
It's really close.
He is... Oh, he's just in.
Yeah.
You've done me.
Spicy chorizo, please.
Luckily, they are closed. I never make those bets with Corey because I know he's never going to pay. Anyway, they sneak a by. Still 2 to come then. 105, Schoenheim wants to bomb it. He misses. And now Jamil is going to... Well, could go for a run out here. All right, double or nothing. Here we go.
This time out.
No, hold on. You can't change now.
I'm saying out this time. What do you mean I can't change? It's a different situation.
No, the rules are of commentary and Panada bets. You got to give me a chance to win back. I do think you'd rather have Schoenheim on strike. I love it's like a race to save your average, and here we go.
Going, gone.
So let's just say it's Rico 1, Mr. Maximo 1.
No,
after that.
I don't like these rules.
I'll wind the tape back.
This is Clarkson.
I can edit that in a way.
This is Jeremy Clarkson rules, no.
Jamil does a lot of running, not a lot of scoring, unfortunately. He'll go with the ball remaining, 105 for 4.
It's interesting that he wanted to take Schoenheim off strike there. That's an interesting decision. Schoenheim says, no, I'm staying here.
He was hoping maybe they could sneak another run, but I think it's worth giving up the chance of a run to get Schoenheim to face the last ball.
Yeah, so I said 110 here. And
well, you're picking a 5. Okay, I'll take that bet.
I'll tell you what.
Last ball.
And he goes for the shot. Is he going to go? Yeah, so look, this is what I'm thinking about. So he's called 6. It's the slower delivery doesn't go right. They're going to get to 111. It's going to be the Nelson on the Group E final. I said 110 would be a real test, would be a real battle between these two sides. It will be a bit of a tug of war. And I reckon we're going to get a tug of war here, Vinny.
Yeah, look, to be honest, it's a very defendable total under lights. I think we normally say the par probably comes down 15 or even 20 under lights. Look, I think you've got to give credit to the Scots. I mean, everyone will say, oh, you know, why didn't they score quicker and blah, blah, blah. But I think you got to give credit to them. They were pretty wily with the ball. They were fairly accurate while still throwing in those variations and keeping the batters honest. As we go back and we look at the highlights of the first half of the Group E final. Two teams desperate to make it back to the big dance, and what a start it was for Forfarshire. A wicket off the very first ball.
Yeah, and it's one of those, isn't it? It just happens. Well, sometimes this happens, sometimes as well, as this one crashes into the side grill of the batter. Well, he was shaking, wasn't he? But Tim de Kock says, you can hit me, but I'll always get my revenge. And he certainly did. Made a fine half century. Remember, he was dropped as well. He was dropped on 6 by Wallace. That was a big drop because that did cost him. That cost him plenty of runs. But the record on also being dropped by Hogarth didn't cost him that much. This was the first one. That's the one you really needed to take. That was the top.
It was a tough one though, you know. And then pretty much I think it was the very next ball. We saw Jack Hogarth put one down. That was recorded. That was put down. So both he put down on 6. De Kock kind of put in a shift, didn't he? 53 off 35. So he's going at 151. To give you an idea, that's like if the whole team went that fast, you get 90 plus whatever extras they bowl. So it's not setting the world on fire, but I suppose the question would be if he didn't do it, then what would have happened? And there was the chance they might have got kind of rock and rolled, because we do know they rely pretty heavily on their top 4 in this series. Hogarth came on and actually did a pretty good job. Again, you love the fielding efforts here. There was this big run with no boundaries, and it actually went 16 balls. There was a boundary off the first ball of the 8th. We didn't see another boundary till the very last ball, and just feel like that might come back to bite them. That's where they kind of went from that 125, 130 or so, down to 111. This was towards the end. Maybe a harsh wide call there, but then you and me were just debating the run-out decisions.
Well,
there were a couple.
Let's just say I got 2 empanadas coming my way. Let's just leave it at that.
If it means we get to go, then I'm totally happy with that. Last ball just gets it slightly wrong. Tries to go the block hole. Schoenheim, again, justifying the decision to stay on strike. He does put it away, puts it out of the ground. 1-1-1 is the score. Oh. And look, yeah, they're ahead right now, Forfarshire, but we've seen games switching favouritism all day. You feel there's still a few twists and turns left in this one. Tim de Kock bats the majority of the innings for 53 off 35. 4 6s, 3 4s in there for the skipper. 20 for Record and 27 not for Schoenheim, who finished the things with a bang. Hit 3 6s in his innings. And with 11 extras, that's about normal as well. They end up on 111. As far as the bowlers, I think, okay, James got taken out in his over, but that's why they held Hogarth back as an emergency option.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I think, aside from that one magical over, they're all pretty similar in economy rate. They all do a pretty good job. 2 wickets for Cameron. He's been outstanding today with the ball. Jamie King really liked his job as well. And Alchin comes in, does a good job. Not easy coming into the side after sitting out. I thought he bowled very, very well. Take a break, Rico, and plenty still to be written in this second half. 112 runs between Forfarshire and finals week. Remember, it's exactly 1 year since they weren't able to progress from the group that contained eventual European champions. Vinny Sandu here, Mr. Maximo, with Rico Falls. Stay tuned. Back soon with more European Cricket League.
European Cricket League is proudly brought to you by Dream 11, HCL Software, La Junta de Andalucía, Paramatch and Norcane. And the official charity partner, Share the Meal by the United Nations World Food Programme.
Hello, cricket lovers, and welcome back. And yes, together we can make a difference. Click the QR code. You can find that on our website, europeancricket.com. Just click the website, find out a little bit more about our charity partner, Share the Meal. And together, as a cricketing community, we can help to make a difference to the millions of hungry people around the world as we rejoin the players in the middle, led by the umpires Charles Croucher and Stephen Gooch. For the Group E final, it's the second half of the final. VLC Rotterdam have had a bat, and under the lights, they put the Nelson on the board. 111 they made for four. There's Tim de Kock. He was the main contributor with 53 of 35 deliveries, and then we saw some good hitting there from Schoenheim towards the end, 27 not out. It's, I think this is really going to be a real epic. I've called it a bit of a tug of war. I think that's what we're going to see here. And interesting to see that they are going to go with a little bit of spin to start off with. So not going with the young Aditya Jain to start off with, who's been bowling brilliantly well. Here we go. Here's the first ball. And just doesn't feel right, does Jamil. So it goes back to his mark. I'm Rico Full, and with me in the commentator's box is Mr. Maximo Vinny Sandhu.
Well, it's one way to make sure the first ball's not a wicket. Don't bowl it. Anyway, big swing and a miss. Wallace coming off a globe this morning. Less than convincing start. Jamil's been met a little bit when he's bowled in the middle of the innings, so they give him the first over. And this was SportsMax last year, very, very effectively actually. He's got away from that plan a little bit this year, probably because you've got someone like Aditya Jain who can do a good job with that new ball. Now it reaches and he gets it just enough. But probably glad he didn't hit that better, because it'll just be a single, so Wallace gets off the mark. And Callum Gardner, didn't he come good in qualifier 2 for Fisher?
You can see there that Wallace just having a word there with Gardner, probably just saying, hey, this is what's happening, keep an eye on it. And yeah, he'd be happy to get off the mark after he's stuck in the last match. But normally, good batters, when they have a failure, do come back strong. So he'd be looking to do that. And well, Garden, you're right, he was in exceptional form.
High grip. Probably not a wide. He knows it too. Just bails out of the shot because he steps early. Jamil actually getting a bit of turn with the new ball there.
Yeah, he is. Just watch this go. So he steps early, so it's not, the line moves with him.
Pretty much went over the actual line, and it wasn't going to be called a wide. Yeah, it's a good shot, but field pretty straight. Just a single. I like that they put that fielder straight.
Oh, they want a cheeky one here. And I wonder if they'll, well, we will have a look at this side on. It's a quick hands from the keeper, but the batter looks comfortable, but we still have a look. Maybe just trying to rattle him with the appeal. What do you reckon?
Looks pretty comfortable there. It looks like a regular smile, not just a nervous smile from Wallace.
Trying to get inside his head, maybe. We will get a chance, maybe, just to see
quick
this
work
again.
from the keeper, Leary. Where's this bat?
This is, well, they're asking the question, but I think this is a bump. Once again, Wallace doesn't seem too deterred. The bowler asking the question.
That was the last one. Been a long day. Let's get back to the action. Now one slides past the outside edge, and it's a brilliant start when you're defending something that's modest. And it's great to sneak through and over. That's what Jamil does. And it's 2 without loss after 1.
Oh, well, it's a fantastic start. I told you it's going to be a tug of war, remember? That when VLC Rotterdam, their first over, it was 5 for 1. So I suppose at least they haven't lost a wicket. 15 matches since the golden ball. Remember my shout when I was here yesterday, Corey? I was saying that we're going to see 2 more before this European Cricket League is done. We've seen 2. Are we going to see another 2?
I'm trying to think if we've ever had more than 1 golden ball in a Cartman tournament before, and actually I think it's always been just the 1. So I think we've already made history.
We've
already done 2. Now, how about this guy? How about this guy? Not even having his 16th birthday yet. He's such a big talent, Adit Jain. He's going to bowl over number 2. It's a perfect result for VOC first up. Going back to the tactics we've seen used before, using the spinner in the first over and getting through it.
Okay, it's an interesting one though as well, isn't it? Because the captain, I mean, you have a plan and they're going with what their plan is. But the captain would be probably very tempted to go with another spinner, right?
Yeah, but I don't think you want to leave this guy too long because he's very, very good with that new ball. Here he is in the second. And he gets hit back over his head. Probably not quite out of the screws, but it'll be 4. Garden very quick to get on the front foot there to try and maybe counteract that movement. We know also that Jane does like to pitch the ball up to see what it'll do. A nice shot by Callum, gets 4 runs.
Yeah, remember when Callum Garden made that 71 of 22 against BSC Rayburger? And I was saying then, a lot of the shots he's playing is straight. And we were talking then, how about a Southern Cross field to him, or 2 men pretty straight, because he does like to play that shot.
It's been a good week for shoes off, hasn't it, here at the Cardimer Oval? We saw a few blowouts. We saw the shoe phone come back.
Yeah.
From Wahid Abdul 3 nights ago in the Group D finals day.
He was dialing your number a lot, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. He gave me a call.
Gave you a call. Said a quick hello.
Had it on silent, but I still saw it. Anyway, Garden wins the first exchange with Jane. Oh, now gets himself in a bit of a muddle. Looking to flick that away.
Yeah.
Jane beats him for pace.
Yeah, he does. You're absolutely right. He expects it to be slightly shorter. It was. That's why he gives himself a little bit of room so he can flick it away. But he gets tucked up. He's got to be careful as well. There is a man on the 45 for that particular shot. So if he's going to play it, he's got to get well under it.
Jane's already pretty tall, and you'd imagine he's still growing. He turned 16 in a couple of weeks.
I'm telling you, Vinny, this guy, you're watching somebody who's going to be pretty sensational. Oh, that's gone over the stumps.
I think it's a wide.
You reckon? I don't see that going over the stumps, Vinny.
I'm going to have a look at it.
Okay, well, me and you undecided again.
I got a feeling it would have hit the stumps. It would have knocked him over if it was on the stumps. Let's have a look. Get a good look at him.
Okay, I'll take it back.
See, now I changed my mind.
Yeah, it's over the stump. That's what I mean. I take your apology.
Was any of the ball over the stump hard to call?
That's a couple of tight calls.
True.
Slower ball, well bowled.
A bit like the odd couple this time. We just can't agree. I mean, everyone knows that rule, though. If it misses the leg stump for width, that's the thing, for width.
You got to remember also that the umpires, they're standing the closest to the action, wicket to wicket, and they've got to give it the way they see it. So you can see why it's called. And don't forget, the umpires don't have the luxury of the replay as well, and they've done a top job. So we're not going to give them a hard time. The men in black, they've been brilliant.
Wallace, 1 off 4. Got himself into a bit of a corner here. And he's bowled. Now, I don't know if Jane saw it because he fell over, but he heard the rattle, and Wallace goes for just a single. Big wicket here. This game very, very much alive. Forfeiture lose Craig Wallace for 1, and it's 8 for 1.
Well, only a young man can bowl a ball like this and do a forward roll in the process of delivering it and knock the stumps over. That's sensational. And Adit Jain, I told you, this guy is going to be something special. I mean, it's knocks the stumps over, he goes over, and then the roar. But it's a bit of a false shot, though. You would expect him to put that away. He expects the ball maybe to be a bit higher, and maybe he plays for that, so he plays all around it. But look at them. They're all over Adit Jain. That is a huge wicket. It is, once again, Wallace is going to go early, so they're going to have to do it without him once more. And it's another slow walk back up those famous Cardimer steps for Craig Wallace.
Big, big moment. 8 off 10 balls bowled in the innings so far. That's why they like Jane. For sure, that swings back. Wallace has a trudge up the stairs. 111. Starting to look pretty competitive. I don't think anyone really wants to face Jane, especially under lights and with the ball talking a little bit. Cameron, good player, coming in at 3, 2 to come in the second. Just happy to let the ball go, and knowing the threat that Jane is, this is one of the rare times to be a bit careful.
Yeah, I mean, he's a dangerous player, and maybe that the new batter got Cameron is thinking, okay, maybe if I see out this over, this delivery, we can work around some of the other bowlers. But don't forget, Jamil's over was pretty sensational as well. I'm sure he'll come back and bowl the third.
There's the cutter. That one is picked, but hit straight to the fielder. So another brilliant over. Started with a boundary to Garden, but then Jane won the rest of it pretty comprehensively as we get to the end of 2, and it's 8 for 1.
What a cracking final we have here. It's going to be a thriller. Scores in the hundreds, 111 for 4, VOC Rotterdam, the Nelson, 112 required for victory for Forfeiture. And at the moment, I'd just say the Scottish supporters are pretty quiet as we have a look at some of our upcoming events, Finn.
Yeah, of course. Portugal, the next stop on the tour. If you don't realise, actually, we're on the air 49 consecutive weeks of the year. We started all the way back in mid-January. We'll go almost until Christmas. So why don't you join us if you'd like to enjoy the free cricket pretty much all day, every day. You can just subscribe to our YouTube channel, ECN European Cricket Network, and every day we get a little bit close to 400,000 subscribers. We'll have to work out something to do for that, won't we? Anyway, here's Yelt Schoenheim. Let's just start with the big wide. No debates about this one. Just feel like one big over could get Forfeiture back on track here. I mean, game hovering around the 50-50 again. So many of these games have been like that today.
Yeah, it's one of those where I think if I'm out there, I'm thinking, what you're holding Jamil back for? Give him another. But they've got bowlers, and I suppose when you have, he has no idea where that has gone, the batter.
Yeah,
no idea.
Right off the end of the bat, the Q end, he's threw it early. Yeah, I suppose the thing with sneaking it over, it's a sneak job. It's a sneak job. They say, all right, we got through it.
Yeah,
maybe second over, they'll get after him.
Yeah, I think what they're thinking is, look, there's only 8. If we're going to use somebody that we may use now and again, let's do it now. Slower.
Yeah.
Oh, could have gone anywhere.
Bowls that one well, Schoenheim. The thing is, the lights are the same for every single finals night. So it's different though. Sometimes as a batter, it can get in your head. And I think for both these teams, both the top order, they just have had that look of, like, I'm not seeing this. Anyway, this is up, it's in the air, and it's going to go a long way back. Anyway, umpire almost all the way back on the boundary there. Is that Charles?
Oh, what a throw.
Yeah, brilliant throw, but they'll get back for 2 pretty comfortably. Cameron gets off the mark.
Yeah, well, this is luck here more than anything else. He doesn't have control of this shot at all, and I think he, as well as everybody else, is pretty surprised how far back it goes. And
yeah,
it was nice to see the umpire back paddling here as well.
Once you got in your head that you're not really picking the ball up, it plays tricks with you. But some batters don't have that. We've seen them make heaps of runs under lights. This will be a wide, straight over the line. You know, and if you say, you know, it's too hard to bat under lights, just we've seen True put on 189 under lights against a very good team. Obviously, True last year in the group final against Forfeiture, chasing 150s on that occasion. Actually got reasonably close. This one bites back and it's a little under edge, and it's going to run away for 4. So that's a bit of luck for Cameron. Good hurdle job as this game, twos and fro's, it's coming, it's going. We're still no closer to knowing who's coming back. Big thank you to Andaluthia, who give us a lot of support, the local council, and it's just a tense atmosphere considering it's quite a decent crowd here.
It's on a knife edge, it really is. One good over, either way can change things.
Slow ball, and he hits it. Brilliant fielding. Really good fielding there by Tom DeWitt.
Yeah,
it saves 3 runs.
Fantastic. That looked like it was going to be 4, so we know that Forfeiture probably saved up to at least 12 runs when they were in the field, and they took some great catches. VFC Rotterdam, well, their standards are just as high.
He tempted to go back to Jane, you know, in the 4th. Use him while the ball's fairly new. This one's a fairly clear wide down the leg side. What do you think, though? Hoisenbach's got absolutely smashed before.
I'd go back to Jamil.
I still think they trust him.
I'd change the pace again. I'll go back to Jamil. Keep them guessing. So they've had spin. You've had a pace, real pace, a seamer. Go back to spin. Keep changing it around.
Slow ball again. He picks it, just doesn't get the middle on it. It's pretty similar to the first innings, actually, what we're seeing right now. as that'll be the end of the power play in Forfarshire. 20 for 1 after 3.
Yeah, you'll see here on the graphics that they're 5 runs behind where VOC Rotterdam were, and both teams at the same stage had lost a wicket.
Yeah, have a look at, okay, that one over we talked about went magical in the first half, but all those other overs are kind of alarmingly average. First one only going for 5, everything else between 8 and 13.
I think we're going to see another new bowler here, so they're not going to go back to either John or Jamil. Looks like we are going to see here now is Hosinbach is going to have a bowl.
Yeah, okay. So they're going with spin. Asif actually was the one last year we saw bowling the first over quite a lot for VOC Rotterdam. Pretty exciting as well. We're former European champions tonight in VOC. Tomorrow morning we will too. When Pakai Care turn up, of course, in the last group we had Trur, also former champions. So the 3 previous champions all playing in consecutive groups. Anyway, Hosenbucks over number 4. One bites in and Garden will take 1. Feel a bit of tension and a bit of valuing of the wicket here, but which you can do. We actually saw the Germans go through a little bit of a phase in qualifier 2 where they did this as well, and they fell behind and never really got back on track. Forfarshire still favourites in this game though, but only just. Max has struggled kind of uncharacteristically with his length on occasions. This time it's a full toss, but he gets away with it, just a single.
Yeah, I think this is where 2 batters here, they probably, again, similar to VOC Rotterdam, they probably realise that they haven't got as much depth with their batting. So it's pretty key that one of these 2 clicks. So this is just a moment for them to try and get themselves in, steady themselves, start feeding the ball onto the bat, playing some shots, stroke it around, and then one of them will be looking to then go big and get the acceleration.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the longer they bat, you imagine the better they'd get.
Yeah.
And it's the 50-50. I felt it would happen after that ball. 50-50. But see, de Kock never really accelerated. Again, so it's very kind of T20 style at this stage, which I won't say slow, but just say that they're happy just to score off as many balls as possible, gain a bit of confidence, but it's a bit of a gamble.
Yeah, it is, because the other thing is, got to keep an eye on that rate required. They're over 13 required. I think when it starts to get about 15 in the night matches, then you may struggle.
Oh, that's a huge moment. That's a 7 up, and it's gone miles into the night. Maximo, 7 carreras, and Hosenbach completely loses the handle on that, and a free hit to come.
This is an amazing shot. I mean, I thought it was going to hit him. I mean, watch this, how quickly he reacts, and he smashes that. So that's a 7 up. And I think when you look at the 2 batters as well, you had a look at Scott Cameron saying, right, this is it. This is the ball. This is the one that can change it. They got 7 there, free hit, license to go to full Monty, get another boundary here, and you feel the balance start to change.
Yeah, Hosenbach got away with a full toss earlier in the over. That one was a dirty one, and it got hit out of the ground. Garden picked that up all right. How about this one? Low full toss this time, and he can only get a single.
Yeah, he was looking to get under it, wasn't he? And he may have, probably a better option may have been get ready to play the sweep shot, but we'll get just a single from it. So I suppose Hosenbach gets away with it.
Thrilled to get out of this over with, say, 13 or so. When he's at his best, he's kind of on you a bit quicker than you expect, and it's block hole. But he just hasn't hit it consistently enough in this series. That's been the difference. About there. And it gets through the keeper, but they won't get a run. And in the end, it's a dozen off the 4th over at Forfarshire. 32 for 1.
Yeah, it's not the worst of overs. They still probably like for like stay just ahead, but they'd like to break this partnership.
More shoot your shoes for Garden. Tying up those laces, there's an idea. They seem to just be slipping it on and off like it's what do they call those shoes? Loafers.
I think there might be. Is he going to have a shoe change?
Well, we saw a bit of a wheel change, didn't we, earlier? I think you might have been off that day, but we had shoe gates where we saw one shoe changed, and it was the wrong shoe that went on the ball. I changed it with the field, and then next ball changed the other one, changing in installments.
Well, we have seen a player wearing different shoes as well, don't forget.
Jaspinder.
Yeah, Jaspinder Singh.
Yes, we even saw it on that occasion, but only for one ball.
Yeah.
He actually went. He actually changed his right foot. His right-hand bowler changed his right foot, which wasn't even his front foot. Anyway, similar trajectories these innings so far, and they do go back to Jane now. So they only wait one more over. You know, it's funny over from Hosenbach. I know he got away with a couple that only went for singles, but that 1 7 up hurts. Although free hit only going for 1 as well. I think all things considered, you'll take 12.
Huge over this. You can see why they go back to Jane here. VSC Rotterdam feeling the need to break this partnership. These two just starting to rebuild, and Callum Garden, of course, the man who was in great form earlier, scored 71 and 22. They want to see the back of him.
13 and over required from here on, and there's a huge over. I still think you still want to attack him, but you don't want to over-attack him. I think that's the thing.
Yeah, look at the field. Remember what we were talking about, how Callum bats? They've been watching. Look at the field here to him.
Well, they totally messed this up. They've got 5 infielders, or they've got 4.5. They're saying, hey, we can have one more back. Do you want me to go back? They said, yes, please.
Yeah, so you've got almost that Southern Cross field very close to it.
Almost, yeah. You got
very close. Look at the 2 men straight.
Yeah, you got pretty much 4 protecting the straight boundary from deep cover to deep mid-wicket, and they've gone with the deep backward square as the other outfielder. Here's Jane, 5th over. You can see they're a bit careful the way they play him here. Be happy to get 1 boundary and kind of work the rest and maybe end up with, say, 9 or 10 off this over, and then you know what you need to do in the last 5. But Jane's bowled out. Still hanging in the balance. I mean, the win predictor 50-50 says it all, Rico.
Yeah, it certainly does. This is going to be tight. Once again, no change in the field, so they're keeping it the same. Look, that gives you an idea of where this field is. 2 men there on the offside, pretty straight, and then you've got 2 on the leg side as well, pretty straight as well, straight down the ground.
Short missed out. Kind of died on the keeper as well, James Leary.
Yeah, these are the sort of deliveries in a tight match like this. You get that one away, so get the uppercut, get that in between the very fine third inside the circle and backward point, goes for 4. It gives you a sigh of relief. You've got a boundary. But when you miss out on it, it's frustrating. So the batter now, Scott Cameron, is going to be very frustrated. He's going to be frustrated. He's 10 balls, 9 runs. He doesn't feel at the moment like he's helping his side.
Now, snaps the hands through it when he gets a single. We'll add Cameron to the list of batters that are top order batters tonight that just haven't looked that comfortable at the crease. And now he'll feel like he's invested a lot of time in getting his innings going. So it's kind of counterintuitive to then take risks. Like, why to take risks? I've gotten this far, but
yeah,
you know, has to have confidence in those blind that if he does get out, it's not the end of the world. You've got Robertson to come in next. Missing off, they run, bit of a specious one, and they'll get a leg by.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of the batter. I mean, this is very similar to how I think in the end Craig Wallace got out. Same sort of, he wants to go across to try and play Adit Jan. I don't know if it's the right shot to play. I think you're probably better off staying still and trying to whip it away, because you always take the chance of, well, going too far across, the ball go through you and get bowled, because he bowls pretty full.
There's Gozo's army.
Go, Gozo, go,
We got some
Gozo.
disappointed teams here today, and that's understandable, but great to see them again. There's the cutter, and he hits it out of the ground. Maximo! Well, just at the right time, Cameron picks that cutter. It was a little bit short. It's shorter than Jane wanted it. He pays the price, 6 runs.
He needed this one badly, did Scott Cameron, and so did Forfisher. And maybe that shot there could just be the difference that they needed, just to sort of, get rid of some of those shackles.
So 9 off this over now. I said you'd take 10. I don't think he's going to go after this unless it's really asking for it. Well, it kind of does, and actually with the pace of Jane, that's going for 4. So I feel that could be a little momentum shift at the end of the 5th. Rather than essentially seeing Jane out, they go after him, they get 6 and 4, and it's 45 for 1 after 5. Neck and neck, these 2 teams in the Group E final. Strategic timeout time, and that gives us an opportunity to welcome you into the box. Vinny Sandu, Mr. Maximo with Rico. Full big thanks to Corey Rutgers as well. I know that he's watching with interest in this clash, and yeah, really in the balance. What a final. Different kind of a game. I know we talk a lot about the crash and bash and all this, but yeah, it shows it's not always so easy.
It's not. It's now, when you look at it now, so we're at the halfway point. If they go at the same sort of rate, they're going to fall short. So this is where now the 2 batters are probably thinking, right, okay, look, we're both set, right? We're both seeing the ball pretty well. One of us has to be just a little bit more aggressive. Because you said it quite right. You've still got other batters to come. Lyle Robertson's been pretty good. So I think maybe someone like Scott Cameron is the one who sort of says, right, I'm going to be a little bit more risque. I'm going to try and go for the big shots. If I get out, okay, I'm gone. Lyle Robertson comes in, but you've got to stay here, as in Callum Garner, because I don't think they want to fall further behind the rate, and you don't want to be taking it into the last.
Yeah, I kind of think that in this situation, you're looking at certain balls that you want to go after. There's certain you can go after pretty easily, like the big full toss, that's an easy one, put it away.
Yeah.
It's those balls in the middle that you can take a risk and try and hit it for 4 or 6, or maybe 6, and risk a dismissal, or just kind of take a fairly easy one. Now they're the ones which I think we'll see a bit of a difference in this second half of the innings. So 66 required off the second half. Credit to VOC. I mean, a fighting 111 on the board in conditions that they didn't look particularly comfortable in with the bat.
See, I suppose the other way of looking at it is, I mean, one way is what I've just said, but the two batters could also be saying here, so, you know, Callum could be saying here to Scott, hey, look, we know how hard it is. We've had to be out here, what, 10, 15 minutes. We're only just adjusting to the lights now. If one of us goes and a new batter comes in, they've got to start all over again, and we can't afford that. So maybe they're thinking the complete opposite. Maybe they're thinking, if we're going to win this match, me and you, I'm going to have to bat all the way through and do it.
Yeah, it's a dangerous mindset though, because if you pass up potential aggressive opportunities, they might never come back at this stage. So 55-45, they're ahead, and Huizenbachs have just got it wrong once in that first over. Badly. He's going to come back and they're going to bowl him out. So, well, it's the run home as 6th over gets underway. Goes after it, and he gets just enough Garden. Maximo! One thing about Huizenbachs, doesn't really turn too many away from the right-hander. He's happy to slide in. Garden reads it, and he smashes it over the fence, 6 runs.
It's always pressure on a bowler when the first one goes for 6. Now he's thinking in his mind, is this the over? Is this the over where we might lose this match?
Now gets a big filthy full toss, and he'll be filthy with himself, Garden, because he couldn't put it away. Has to settle for a single.
Yeah, he will. The thing is, though, both batters are in, they're seeing it, so he'll still be thinking, all right, maybe I don't, but I do rotate the strike, I get a run off it. We've got 7 off the over so far, 7 off 2 balls, that's okay.
He can't do the fielding, actually. Recovers, and a dot ball. At the moment, every ball's an event.
Yeah, you can see he just drags Scott Cameron out of his crease there. And he'll be thinking about that, think, okay, if he's going to come down the crease, maybe I'll just go a bit wider. Could see the keeper, Leary, in play here.
Oh, well bowled. That's going to be 4. Yeah, the little bits of luck that just might be the difference in the end. I think Huizenbachs gets it right, and Cameron just throws the hands at it. If it was a thicker edge, it probably goes to the fielder, but instead, it goes between the keeper and the pretty fine third, and it's going to be 4 runs.
Yeah, no chance of the keeper here at all. And that's unlucky. Mala suerte for VOC.
Leg side, it's going to be a wide. Doesn't get any of the pad on the way through, but you can see that movement that Huizenbachs gets. Oh, tension. I've never heard it so quiet for such a big crowd.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you've said it about forfeiture. See this delivery first. Oh, that's so close. That's so close. Well bowled. You said it about forfeiture. They've been here before. They lost out. Don't forget, Vinny, their supporters, they've been here before.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
They're just as nervous as the players.
He sweeps at this, but picks out the fielder on the bounce, luckily for Cameron, who survives another over. And at the end of 6, it's 58 for 1. A thriller under lights. Just 4 overs remain with 9 wickets in hand. It's been a strange game because not a lot of wickets have fallen, but the run rate has been underwhelming, to say the least. Better 25s out there. 58 for 1.
I think because you've got 2 top teams battling out, 2 top teams that are playing it wisely. They know it's not easy for new batters to go out there and go boom shakalaka. It just doesn't work. So, you know, they're saying, look, we've got to make the most of what we got here. Lose a wicket here now, and we can lose the momentum. And I think that's certainly in the mind. Look at both those batters, both on 25 apiece.
Upajaya comes in. He's a bit of a closer. VOC Rotterdam again. He's got some variations. It seems that batter's not picking up straight out of the hand tonight. That's probably all I can put it down to. There's nowhere to hide really out there, if I'm completely honest.
I've liked Ramdas. When I saw him bowl the other day, he picked up 3 wickets. He's a game changer.
We're out, first one up in the air. Catching opportunity, and it's taken. And Peter Record has been catching well today and in this entire series. Cameron holds out. Rummy gets a wicket first ball. It's 58 for 2.
Well, there you go. I said he's a game changer. I'm not going to say the best ball he's bowled, but it's no pace on it. And Scott Cameron, he's hit it pretty hard, but not hard enough to get it over the fielder. This one also comes into him a little bit. It's pretty wide, starts to come back in, and a good catch taken. They get the breakthrough, they get the wicket they wanted. And now, well, it's going to be a difficult one because the new batter, Lyle Robertson, has got to come out and literally get his eyes fixed in straight away.
Yeah, Cameron again has to fight for his runs tonight. 3 4s and a 6 in his 25. 58 for 2. Nice take by Peter Accordon down there. Look, so a lot for me. I mean, this is kind of heaping the pressure on Robertson, but luckily he can't hear me. I feel like a lot matters, or it matters a lot if he clicks or not straight away.
Yeah.
Because somebody could come out here and just go bang, 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 and make everyone else look silly for not smashing the ball around all night. Okay, will that be Robertson? I guess we'll find out. It's a lot of tension in the air. You felt that was an important moment for VOC as Upajaya strikes first ball.
Yeah, massive moment from a guy that's been here, done it all before. Oh, chance! Oh, just out of his reach as he throws himself to it.
I don't know if he actually gets a finger on it. It's pretty spectacular. With that wicket, forfeiture just fall behind in the game for the first time in a while, according to the supercomputer. Garden, no, he's still there, batted so well earlier. Goes after this and he bombs it. Maximo! Brave shot, good shot, Garden into the 30s.
It is a good shot, you know, because I didn't quite think it was there for that shot. But he's obviously got himself in a good position early. Look, he has a little shuffle across, but I don't quite think he's right there. But he's got the power, and he knocks it over the boundary for 6. Huge shot. Garden, is he deciding to unleash here?
Full toss, and that's going to travel as well.
6.
Maximo! Oh, it's an error from Upajaya, who goes at the stumps. You can understand that, but he overpitches only just. Back-to-back 6s change the game again.
Oh, this game. It's a tug of war. It's a seesaw, isn't it? It's a roller coaster. Up and down. It sways one way, then goes the other. Well, there's been a few on the leg side that have been missed out on, but he doesn't miss out on this one.
Upajaya with the right of reply. And this could be 6 more, and it is 6 more. 1, 2, 3, Maximos. As Garden finds his hitting boots at the right time. Upajaya under the pump, as this one could go magical in the 7th.
No hay dos sin tres. Shaka, shaka time when we do it the Caribbean style. 3 out of 3. And throws himself at this, goes over the leg side boundary. Acrobatic effort there, but can't get anywhere near it.
If it was a chess match, you'd definitely trade Cameron for 3 6s. It's effectively what's happened here. Last ball of the over, Garden takes one, keeps the strike. ECN Classic loading. It's 78 for 2 after 7 overs. Upajaya does go magical in the end. 20 off the over there. He does take that wicket. Coming up tomorrow, Donnerstadt, the Austrian champions, will get things going against the Talon Stallions of Estonia. Packer Care, former champions, of course, based here in Spain, taking on Crosby, first ever Isle of Man club to compete in an ECL. Indies of Guernsey make up Group F. Another 3 days begins, another journey. Rico, I know you'll be here in the morning, so will I, to start things off at the same time, 10 a.m. GMT, which is 11 o'clock in Central Europe, and 3:30 p.m. in India. Looking forward to that group.
It's going to be absolutely sensational. I'm looking forward to the new look. Packer Care Ballon. Of course, there's still want to know if Ishan is going to be there, what a top player he is. And of course, not just a great batter who scored over 4,000 runs on the European Cricket Network, the only batter to do so far, but of course outstanding behind the stumps as well.
Now here's a big over, Jamil. He snuck through the first. There's no sneaking now because he's going to bowl over number 8. You just feel Garden is a massive momentum swinger if you can get him now. Robertson fairly new to the crease. Jamil only went for 2 in his first over. Garden has to take him head on. I mean, 11 and over still does take some doing. Here we go with over number 8. Just moving the sweeper on the offside a bit more towards cover. Big gap at kind of dead point if he does get a bit too wide here, Jamil. Oh, it's probably a wide. He does take a big step, but it is quite a lot outside the tram line. Jamil doesn't like the call.
Yeah, I can understand him not liking it,
Yeah.
but I think it's one of those where it's a lot wider than just a little bit off that line.
That's the thing. So he has to go straighter and does get a dot. Thing is, even if you move the line, remember, on the lines are wide. So even if you've got a tiny bit of that, I mean, it's hard enough when the line there, and then you're talking about a line that's in your head. But normally the batter does get the benefit of those wide calls. Trying to encourage negative bowling.
Important stop behind the stumps from
Yeah,
Leary.
very good keeping by Leary that time. Oh, probably lucky he mishits this one, Garden. Otherwise, it could have been
Slow
Curtis.
running. Very slow running.
Shades of Inzamam Hark there as he just ball watched. I think he was stressed out, wondering if it might carry to the fielder, but fortunately for him, it doesn't.
This could be a good result here for Jamil now. He's got the new batter, Robertson, who, well...
Over cover is Robertson's
Yeah.
zone, and they're going to move the field around slightly, but there's still a pretty big back gap over cover. Field fairly well spread in the outfield, though. Goes straight, should only get a single. To a ball required, ticks just over that rate now.
Oh, what a finish we're going to have here.
Every game,
What
Rico.
a finish.
Oh, every game's been thrilling. Schoenheim saying, yeah, I want the ball. That's always a good sign.
Look at the feeling he's going to go after this, you know. He's going to go after it. Oh, he gets a Gundy one. Well, we're going to have a look at the height on this. Well, there's no doubt about it, game for 6. But how many? Is this too high? I get the feeling it might be too high. This could be a 7-up. This could be game-changing.
Well, live, I thought it was just okay, but I know it's close. I think it's gone for 6. First things first.
I think it's too high for me. That's too
Oh.
high. It's too high. He's deep in his crease. I think this is going to be a no. He'll be very surprised if it's not called. Oh, are they not calling this? Are they not calling this?
Yeah, it would be worth a second look here, I think.
I'm very surprised.
Let's
He's
have a
deep in his crease. That's got to be called for me.
Oh, he's slightly bent. Yeah,
Well.
they're having a very good look at it.
Ah, it's called.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I tell you what. I know our men don't get it right. They needed to look at it a few times. It's going to be a 7-up. This could be match changing. Free hit coming up now.
50 for Garden, by the way, brings it up off 22 balls, and he's got bigger fish to fry at the moment. Yeah, that one, if it's hitting the waist, it's no ball. It's not the tallest, Callum Garden. And he's going to put this one out of the ground as well, so it's 13 off that ball. And it puts Forfshire well ahead now. 18 required off 14. Jamil, second over, not going so well. They waited to bring him back. And right now he's having a tough over. This has gone for 16. There's still 2 to come.
Callum Garden. I mean, I know he won't want us to be talking about his 50 because the job ain't done. There's no point scoring a 50 or a 60 and not winning the match. He's focusing on winning the match. But what a knock it's been. A lot of people were talking about him saying, what's happened to Callum Garden? Why hasn't he clicked? Well, you know what I say? The big players come good when it matters. Has he come good when it matters? He was there, 71 of 22 to win against Rayburger. Can he be the key here for Forfshire to come back here in Championship week?
Forfshire well ahead now, but does this game have one more twist? Garden, 57. Another
That's
ball.
pretty high as well, you know. I think they're checking this one as well. This, I mean, all right, this one may be tipping. It's going to be a difficult one for the umpire to call. It could be. They're looking at it.
Nervous moments. Oh, that one probably just okay.
Yeah, that one's probably just okay. And I think he does the right thing. Goes, all right, doesn't get the boundary, gets a single. They rotate the strike. They're still looking, you know, Vinny.
Standing at the crease.
I think they're saying...
Standing at the crease, I think it's not hitting him waist high or above. Anyway, Robertson.
Should he just go for it here?
Bit of a license, yeah.
I reckon he should.
If it's there. Well, now they'll get a bye. Take every run possible.
Oh, well, oh, that's a red card. Send him off, referee. Well, double footed lunge and no damage done.
Friendly
he says,
fire
all right,
there.
I'm all right.
So that'll take us to the end of the over. I think with the number 4 at the crease, you not really want to sacrifice him just yet. You might need him yet. It's 96 for 2 after 8. So 16 will be required. Here comes the challenge. Anyway, everyone's okay.
How they're doing there in the fact, can we have a quick shot of the fan zone? I'd like to see if the Forfshire fans have got any nails left.
No. Short answer.
Let's have a...
Yelta demanded the ball in this 9th over, and he's going to get it. And really, he's consistently performed.
There we go.
There
They're nervous there. Nobody wants to sit. You know what it's like, superstition. No, you can't sit down there. No, you can't go to the bathroom. No, you can't take a drink. Everybody's like, no, we can't do anything. We can't change anything.
You know they're nervous because they put their shirts back on. Anyway, time for over number 9. 16 required. Got to win this over, VOC. Otherwise, it's pretty much curtains. Here's the 9th. Slow ball first up, and Robertson misses it.
Yeah.
Schoenheim's a pretty good bowler to have up your sleeve at this stage.
He's got the experience, hasn't he? Got the experience and the knowledge, and he needs to rely on all of that here in the next 5 balls. We want to be taking this into the last.
Another slow ball, he picks it, he hits it out of the ground. Maximo!
Timing, timing, timing. This is timing to perfection. Look at them. They're starting to believe. They're starting to believe there. What a great shot that is from Robertson. Gets into position early, but the timing of this is impeccable.
Yeah, he just holds his shot back a fraction. And he picks the slow ball, really fast hands to get through it. And that's why, I mean, you shouldn't be too bothered about who's on strike here, because Robertson's a genuine bat. And you know, the round by off that last ball of the last over, but I think you take every run you can. 10 off 10 at the moment. Needs a dot here. Would love a wicket.
Needs a wicket, needs a dot, but he ain't going to get one. This looks like it could go all the way as well. It will go all the way. Bolle. Shaka. They are just 4 runs away from victory, and they've got 9 balls, Vinny, to do it in.
Wow. Robertson steps up at the right time. 366 days they have waited to be back here at the Cardimer Oval. It's not over yet.
Look at Jack Hogarth there. He can't wait. He can't hold his emotions.
4 to win for the Scots. Edged and dropped by the keeper. Dropped by the keeper up into his right. Leary, it did fly. I know you could say that game might already be gone, but you never know. Get a new batter out there. Can you push it to the last? But it goes down and it creeps Forfarshire closer to the target.
3 of 8.
Goes for it. Well, this should be out. It is out.
He's out.
Okay, well, Garden doesn't necessarily pick that slow ball, or if he doesn't get much of it. They are taking nothing for granted, Forfarshire right now, I'll tell you that much. So, in a crazy way, it might work out, because you could have had Robertson, but you get Garden, who's more set, really down to working on fumes now. 3 off 8 required. The score is 109 for 3.
Look, in this situation, you'll take it, because there's always hope that a new batter, look at Jack Hogarth here. He knows that's a big wicket. He has to wait a bit longer. That's why he didn't get off his seat, you know. And it's a great knock from Callum Garden, but he'll be disappointed that he hasn't seen him home. And now you're relying on a new batter to go out there. Will be on strike, will be under pressure. So this match is not done yet. 7 balls to come, 3 runs still needed.
Yeah, and so it's youngster Thomas Knight that comes out at number 5. What a performance by Garden. 71 in qualifier 2. He walks off the field with his team within 1 hit of victory. Goes for 58 off 25 in tough batting conditions tonight, got to say. Okay, the youngster gets his moment. Knight, he crunches it pretty well. So we will go to the last over, and young Tom Knight will be facing 2 runs required. It's 110 for 3 after 9. You need a miracle, but miracles happen here on the European Cricket Network. I think you need to just get it down to 1 ball at a time. Win this ball, and you might as well gamble. You've got the youngster in there, you bring everyone up. I just don't think you need to force him to hit. You need to treat every ball like they need 1 to win off the last ball.
Yeah.
That's what I'd be doing at this stage.
You've got it. You can see them. They're looking at the scoreboard. They know what's required. Thomas Knight, though, I think he's a good guy to have in at the moment. You can see the youngster showed no signs of nerves there. Played a really nice shot. He's a proper cricketer, isn't he? He plays a longer format of the game. He's a classy bat, and I can see him just looking to get bat on ball, stroke this away, look to get a single, or maybe he's having a look at the field now, coming in here and thinking, you know what? I'll chance it. I'll go for the shot. Who's going to bowl the over, though?
They're going to go back to Upajaya. Remember, he went for 20, did bowl the 7s, but he's their regular closer, so they've gone back to him and said, look, let's try and make something happen here. I still think you can't run out of wickets. I think you hit and you run every ball, and even if you hit it straight to the fielder, this is what I would be doing anyway. But, oh well, Forfarshire so close to victory. VOC hanging on, then he'll leave 1 fielder back at long on. I don't even know if I'd do that with a youngster on strike. Just maybe floating around for a catch. I suppose single keeps the game alive. Anyway, 2 to win, and it's in the air. Well, you got to catch it. If you don't catch it, it's curtains. And he does catch it. Tim de Kock, fantastic under the spotlight, and Oh, just a small glimmer of hope. Knight goes for glory, but comes up short. It's 110 for 4.
Yeah, well, this is what I thought the young man might do. Well, that's maybe a little bit of the young blood. He decides, they're all in, I can go for the big shot. He's disappointed. It's a slow walk back for him. This match is not done yet, folks. It is not done yet. 2 required of 5 deliveries. What a finish we're going to have here. What a great catch that is.
Great catch. They weren't really hustling for 2, but definitely would have tied the scores. Tom Knight disappointed that he can't be the one to finish things off. As he goes, it's 110 for 4. Got to just treat every ball like the last ball, because it might be your last ball of ECL 24 if you're VOC Rotterdam.
Well, Thomas Knight goes, all right, the captain. Well, Hogarth, Hoggy, he knows all about the pain of missing out.
Yeah.
He was there. He feels it. He knows it. He's the captain. He wants to send them there. Look at the nerves there. Look at the nerves. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to be.
Taking nothing for granted. They've been here before. It's a year to the day since we saw them get Nabied out of the tournament. It's the Bison, 2 to win. And he misses. One ball at a time, 2 off 4 now.
Oh, well.
I think you're running on pretty much anything.
Yeah.
I still think I wouldn't have the long on back. You know, I think if he knocks one down long on for 1, game's as good as gone. Upajaya misses again. 2 off 3 now. And now, I mean, you're 1 dot ball away from really, I mean, you're already really nervous.
Is he running? Is Robertson just going to run here? Should he gamble
if he misses this one, he should hold his crease and try and get Robertson safe. 2 to win for the Scots. Still 2 to win.
Dot. Oh, we can't believe what we're seeing here.
These ones don't just make themselves, Rico. It's been a great over from Upajaya. Tim de Kock kept the game alive by taking that pressure catch, and Upajaya's got it right.
They need, this is just incredible.
Hogarth, I mean,
wicket, dot so far.
Can't afford a dot here. Don't want to get caught.
Oh, he's pushing mid-wicket back. It's
yeah,
almost...
I don't know, it's a huge gap, but I suppose maybe wants him to try and hit the ball there. He's been offside every time. 2 to win for Forfeiture. And that'll do it. The Scots, 1 year to the day. They conquer their demons, and they are your Group E champions with a sense of theatre as well. Hogarth gets them across the line, and it's VOC Rotterdam that have to go down in second place because Forfeiture have won with just a single delivery to spare.
Ladies and gentlemen, cricket lovers around the world, what a match you've just been treated to. The Group E final has been won by Forfeiture. They know about the pain of missing out, and this time round they did it with the ball to go in the last over. Jack Hogarth, their captain, after playing out a few dots, gets the winning runs. It will be 4, and they do it with a ball to go. Well, yesterday was the National Day of the Bagpipes. They were playing yesterday. They were saving them for today because Forfeiture, the Scottish champions, have made it through to Championship Week.
Well, we saw the crowd erupt after that last shot from Hogarth. He'll tell you he was just getting his eye in, but it was a bit too close for comfort. Hey, I was really thrilled to see VOC Rotterdam and what they brought to the table this time around. I know they fall just short, but loving the young talent in there.
Yep.
They talked a bit about, a little bit of a changing of the guard in their club, but I think that the Scots are very, very happy to see Forfeiture in Championship Week for the first time, Rico.
Yeah, you know what? I think Corey said it best yesterday when we were talking about VSC Rotterdam, and he said that since they won back in 2019, this team has been the best team since then, and I think he's absolutely right. They've got the balance, they've got the spin options there, they've got the new pace man there, Edith Jane, and those guys will get stronger and better. I reckon that they're going to come back again and stronger, and they'll believe after this performance here, after a couple of disappointing performances, they'll believe now they've got a team that can be competitive again. They've got a team that can once again be winners, but not tonight, not on this occasion, not in 2024, because 2024, after the pain of last year, Forfeiture have booked their place in Championship Week.
Yeah, I love seeing VSC Rotterdam though. I mean, the young talent of Edith Jane, a guy like Recorded, getting his opportunity at the big time here, not letting his side down. Francois Foray, I thought was very, very good. Tim de Kock under the immense pressure of the final, holding up his end and forcing a finish. Well, ultimately, Forfeiture, they're going to do it. And it's a different result this time around. Bryce Allchin, great to see him there, and he was instrumental in keeping it down in the first place to the 111. Let's go back and have a look at some of the highlights. And, oh, well, that was a big one, wasn't it? With Wallace going down, done by a bit of pace and movement from the teenager, Adit Jain. And isn't he punching above his weight at this stage? Not even 16 years old. That's a little bit of luck for Cameron. Look, one thing was pretty consistent in this final across both innings, that even though we only really saw the top four for both teams, no one seemed to be that comfortable. Had to work hard for the runs. Occasional mistake, I suppose, came, and Garden seemed to be the one that was able to pounce. As we saw Cameron hold out after having a bit of a rough time. Still handy runs for the former captain, but Garden, I mean, what a finals day for him, and he backs up his 71 to get him to the final with 58 to all but get them home.
Yeah, he's been sensational, and we always say that, you know, the big players, they save the best till last. They may not perform early on in the group stages, and he didn't. And people were starting to ask questions about Callum Garden because you know what a good player he is. Well, on finals day, like we've seen in the last few finals days as well, the good players come good and they make a difference, and that's definitely what we've seen here from Callum Garden. But then they had that nervy finish, didn't they? He got out, then we saw the youngster come out. He, lost his cool, wanted the big hit, but then the captain, after a couple of dots and after, well, severe sort of heartache and pain for Forfarshire when they saw dot after dot after dot, he got the runs, he got the four, he celebrated as he ran towards these teammates and the supporters. Forfarshire, they have done it, and they will be back here on Championship Week, and their name is in lights. And well played to all the teams in this group. It's been a thrilling group, and the cricket and the entertainment has been absolutely top-notch.
Yeah, it's been a great group. We'll talk about that in a second. Right now, let's have a look at the card. 58 for Callum Garden, 7 Maximos and a 4. Just really had the ability to hit a boundary when they really needed it in that innings. And, yeah, he's the main reason they get home. I think 25 for Cameron, though he laboured for a lot of his innings. Lyle Robertson with 2 important Maximos towards the end. Tom Knight contributed a single, and Hogarth with probably the best 4 of 4 balls of his career. It was 4th time lucky for Jack, who, to be fair, they bowled a very good over in the first half of the game as well. As far as the bowling went, Upajaya, I mean, a big heart from him to keep the game alive and push it to the second last ball. And he also had wickets in there for Adit Jain and Schoenheim. Upajaya picked up 2 of them in there. Jamil had a bit of a tough time after his first over. Only went for 2, went for 16, and it's crazy. I know that you weren't here for their group final last year, but I know you watched it. It was a night that we'll never forget, actually, on ECN, because it was the night that Drew came of age and beat a kind of an established cricket nation, if you like, and ended up going on to win the whole thing. Right now, Forfarshire, coming in, I suppose, as underdogs today, whereas last year they kind of set the pace and they were overdogs, if there's such a word, in their group. They had to do it the hard way. They had to come from 4th, don't forget. They've had to beat the 3 teams ranked above them, but they've done it. And with players like Michael Leask and potentially Aman Bilwal to come back, I think they could be a real force in Championship Week. Yeah,
absolutely. I know when I was talking to them in between those matches here today, they were saying that, they want to come back. This is the big match for them, and they believe that when they do come back, they'll come back stronger. And, well, they've made it, and well done to them. And I know that they, like some of the other teams that will come back for Championship Week, will be 1 or 2 other players come in just to spice things up a little bit more.
Yeah, and look, we're very positive, and that's just what we are like as people. We're positive about everything that happens here at ECN. But it was a hard day for me just to watch 3 teams be devastated, because every team here genuinely believed that they could come back, and they actually could come back if things had gotten their way. Quick look to tomorrow, where we'll see the Austrians and the Estonians heading off Group F, I should say, in the morning, and former champions Packer Care there as well. Crosby will be here from the Isle of Man, and Independent CC off Guernsey, so join us 10 a.m. GMT, which is 11 o'clock in Central Europe, and 3:30 p.m. in India. That should be an absolute banger of a day. But yeah, it's a tough one, because I know that feeling as well. Some of these teams, Gozo Zalmi, they've been waiting 13 months to be here, and then they miss out on the top 2 by, I think, 4 runs, and then to get out the eliminator, you feel for them. You feel for the Germans, who hadn't lost a game until today in the ECL, but go out in straight sets, but were very, very competitive still, just probably didn't quite play to their potential today. To VOC, who had to work pretty hard just to get the top 2. They get the the so-called easier passage, I should say,
Yeah.
and then they miss out in the final. So there's 3 teams my heart breaks for today, but equally, I mean, Forfeiture, no one really deserves it more than them after setting the pace in their group last year and missing out on that famous Saturday night. They will finally get to take their place in Championship week.
Yeah, you know, well said. And I ditto everything you say there. I think there's been a lot of heartache here for the teams that you mentioned there. But I think this is the one group where those very small little things that if you don't get quite right have made a difference. Because when you look at all of those teams, for example, Goza's Army, what did they do wrong?
Yeah.
Very little. In fact, they played some really good cricket. And in fact, maybe Goza's Army, if you look at their batting, clicked more than any of the other teams because they weren't relying just on 1 or 2 players. When you look, when the matches they played well in, even when they lost, even when they won, somebody different produced the run. So they showed their depth and their power as well. You could probably say the same against Rayburger as well. So they will take a lot of heart from their performances here. I mean, when you're in a group against the champions of the Netherlands like VSC Rotterdam and also Forfeiture, the champions of Scotland, you know, to be competitive and to play the way they did, they'll take a lot of heart. And that's why when we've seen shots of them around the ground, they've been smiling. They're smiling on their faces because they know that they certainly haven't embarrassed themselves. In fact, they've really sold themselves really well. They'll be back here again. And then also the likes of Starry Grad, a team that came here as the underdog. Look how well they played.
They had their say.
Every match that they played, they got something out of it. So in general, in a nutshell, the future for cricket in Europe is so bright.
Yeah,
You know, it's
well
so
said.
bright.
Well said. And that's the beauty of the ECL as well. You probably had 12 to 15 teams that you could actually envision winning it if they went on a real stormer.
Yeah.
And I think there's 4 of them in this group.
Yeah.
It's just a shame that only one gets to go through. That's the way that things go. We are running a little bit over, so I'm just going to direct you finally, if you are watching on our YouTube channel, ECN European Cricket Network, please like the video and subscribe. Tell your family, tell your friends about ECN. And yeah, every subscriber, one closer to 400,000, is free. So if you don't like it, we'll give you double your money back. Also, on our social media at European Cricket, there'll be some highlights there for sure. Finally, EuropeanCricket.com. It's the home of European Cricket. Check out some of the groups and maybe some of the squads from Groups F and G. They're up there right now. For now, I want to say a big thank you to everyone here at the ground, our sensational crew at Spring Media. It's a long day, it's a long tournament. They're putting in the hours. Big thank you to you guys, to all the Blue crew, all the spectators as well. Even though I don't think they were as well dressed today, I still think that they were fantastic. From everyone here at the European Cricket Network and the European Cricket family, this is Vinny Sandu, Mr. Maximo. On behalf of Corey Ruckers and, of course, the one, the only Rico Full, stay happy, stay safe. Here's some of the best bits of Group E Finals Day. It was one to remember. We'll see you tomorrow. A new group gets underway at the Cartma Oval for more European Cricket League. For now, it's hasta mañana.
Hasta mañana, mi familia.